Okay, so today we are going to have a mini lesson that reviews B, A, and G because it's been a while since we've seen each other. Now, if you have your recorder at home, awesome. If you don't have your recorder at home, you can always use a pencil. I'm going to use a pencil just to demonstrate what that would look like. So, first of all, take a second, check your knowledge. What note is that? If you knew it was B, good job. Now, take a second, and how do we play B on the recorder? What fingering do we use? What holes do we cover? If you say that you use your thumb and your first finger, then you are 100% correct. Excellent job. We are making sure that we are using our left hand, right? Not our right hand. We want to make sure that we're using our left hand. So, take a second, pause the video, and try this. Practice playing B in the patterns on the screen. All right, and then now, assuming that you have paused the video and practiced those patterns, then let's move on to the second note that we learned. What was the second note that we learned? Well, it was this one. Think about it for a second. What note is that? Remember, this is a space note, so think about what space spells. If you knew it was A, good job. Remember, we have to spell face going from the bottom of the staff to the top. So we start here with F, not up here. That is not F. So next, oops, let me get rid of that. How we play A on the recorder. A adds a finger, so we're using our thumb, our first finger, and our second finger. Remember, you are not switching your fingers back and forth. You are adding your second finger on your left hand to cover up the second hole on the front of the recorder. So take a second, pause the video, and practice these patterns playing A and B. So if you do not have your recorder at home and you are using a pencil, your practicing should look like this. If I was to do the first one on the top, I'll circle it, this one. If I was to do that one, I would put my fingers on my pencil, make sure that I have A, and then I would sing it in the right rhythm. So I would go A, 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 and that's how I would practice that one. So take a second and practice that now. All right. Assuming that you paused the video and you are practicing, you are now ready to go, we need to move on to our third note that we were reviewing this mini lesson, which is this one. What is this note? Think about it for a second. And now check yourself. If you knew it was G, good job. Remember, when we do the lines, we have our saying, every good boy does fine. Very hard for me to draw on an iPad screen because that's what I'm recording this on. So sorry that that looks so messy. Every good boy does fine. Empty garbage before dad flips. Every good burger deserves fries. Elvis's guitar broke down Friday. Whatever it was that you whatever it was that you think of when you think of E, G, B, D, F. And remember, we are starting at the bottom again and working our way to the top. So think about it. How do we play G on recorder? B, we use our thumb and our first finger. A, we use thumb and 1 and 2. So what do we do to play G? If you remember that you add your third finger, good job. That is exactly correct. So we should be using everything on our left hand except for our pinky to play G. The pinky on our left hand just kind of sits out here in space. It sips tea like we're fancy British people. We never, ever, ever use the pinky on our left hand in recorder. That's just not the way that it works. So now that we've reviewed E, A, and G, the last thing that I want you to do for this mini lesson is practice playing B, A, and G in those different patterns. Remember, if you don't have a recorder, you can use your pencil and sing the letter names as you go along. Some reminder tips to make sure that we are practicing G correctly is make sure you don't T-Rex your hand. If your hand is way up here like this, then that's going to be a problem because you're not going to be able to cover G all the way. Make sure that your wrist is relaxed. It should not be uncomfortable to play G on the recorder. You shouldn't feel any hurt in your wrist. So, take a second to practice those, pause the video, and then when you are done, I hope that this mini lesson reviewing B, A, and G was helpful. I'm going to be posting more mini lessons, reviewing other things, and then eventually I will be posting lessons that are things that we have not learned yet in class. So, happy practicing, friends.